When the pandemic hit, the world came to a standstill, and all we know as normal took a big hit. Everything changed, and with change, the world had to adapt. The world was forced to isolate itself to beat this invisible monster, but trust man to always adapt. With the craving of human interaction, we saw a rise of telecommunication platforms. These platforms ensured people communicated through audiovisuals and man felt connected to fellow man. The shift to online classes and online churches continued to ensure everyone was connected with their loved ones and family. The rise of startups such as Zoom, Skype, Google Meets, and our very own Zoom, which costs $1 less than the price of foreign platforms like Zoom, became a very popular hit in the country.
We have a number of teachers who are using Gumzo to connect with their students, both for tutoring and formal classes. Because there's no plugins, it's very easy for the students to get in. Because Zoom cuts you off after 40 minutes, we can do longer lectures, do the whole school day.
Distance education programs utilizing video conferencing extends the reach of the traditional classroom. Colleges and universities are now using video conferencing to enhance their learning experience amidst this pandemic.
We have found ourselves using video conferencing solutions more and more. And also, if you look at our team, a very small part of our team is the one that actually comes to the office. The bigger part actually work from home. We have already established the required protocols to ensure that we can be able to work remotely.
The Kenya startup vowed to channel back the profits back to the community to beat this pandemic.
By creating a local platform here, we create jobs in Kenya and we keep the money in the local economy doing good.
Online classes became the most common form of learning in 2020. The number of people, both young and old, who had to improve their tech-savvy nature had gone up to an all-time high. You can trust man to always make light of every situation. We experienced many dawns as people weren't versant with these systems. We experienced people walking in during meetings, children interrupting their parents, and the funniest of all, people who were half dressed for meetings thinking they had switched off their cameras and been caught in their briefs.
I'm finishing if that's what your problem is.
Yeah. Which place are you going there?
Who am I talking to? Herbert Pa, somebody. Jamaza kidogo nimalize ile nasema.
The corporate employer formerly believed that they had to see the employees physically in the office to assume they had the maximum productivity. The advantage with this teleconferencing system is that somebody can work remotely at their own convenience.
There's been this traditional model or approach of working. So I have to see you in the office every single day to know that you're working. A lot of people, to be honest, we function at different times of the day. So there are people who actually put in their early birds. There are people who function in the middle of the day. But at the end of the day, it's getting to understand, okay, first of all, what is remote working to you? How does it impact your bottom line, which is your balance sheet? First of all, you don't need to pay so much utilities because there are people who are not core staff who don't need to be in the office.
The world is moving to a new technological age. Whether by help of the pandemic or not, we are being advised to educate ourselves more to improve the quality of both videos and audios because online is the way to go.
It's an issue to do with how self-driven are you, to ensure that you understand the limitations of connectivity. You can have the strongest connection around and then something happens along the way and it becomes unstable. So you have to understand each tool that you're using. So we have Zoom, you have Jitsi, Google Meet. What is their bandwidth consumption? Web-based applications tend to be lighter and they utilize less bandwidth. So that in itself actually it gives you some kind of stability because again you can be somewhere where your connectivity is very poor and it's not able to support any standalone application.
By including video conferencing and teleconferencing, educational institutions access a wider pool of students and they can also distribute their teaching staff across a wider group of people. Teleconferencing saves time. The time spent for traveling in order for people to meet physically to conduct these meetings is cut by virtually 3/4. The money that will be used to travel and to cater for people's food and accommodation in order for them to attend these meetings will also be saved. Video conferencing for education isn't just restricted into impacting knowledge. It also can be used as a great tool for administration. In this we mean people can be able to meet and also conduct training for both teaching and the non-teaching staff.
Nothing much has changed. The only difference is the mode of presentation. So it's shifted. So we don't have to be physically in the same room for me to be able to point out a few things on a PowerPoint. You prepare the same PowerPoint. If you're having a Zoom meeting, you can share your screen.
Technologies are prone to challenges. And this we mean by machines are bound to fail at any time during these teleconferencing meetings.
It's always advisable to have a buffer. So you have your primary connection, but have another line. You can have your mobile data or you can have your Ethernet cable. So for example, if you're working remotely, so you're at home and you're going for this interview, you lose power. So your router goes off.